So this mantra, Surya Atma Jagataha Tastushascha, is one of the Mahavakyas. This Surya is the Atman. This Surya remains the Atman of the entire creation. So it is one of the Mahavakyas of the self, the imperishable self. The imperishable self is called as Surya here. We'll go to Shastra Vichara. So, if you have noticed, we covered this portion in 45 minutes. In we did 3 iterations. That is, once I said, which is called as Patanam, and then you repeat it twice. It is called Anupatanam. So this is a standard practice of learning. So if you actually look at your own chanting, in 15 minutes you will have covered this much. So think about this. So suppose until the next Monday, you actually chanted just this portion what we studied for the next 6 days, then you would have completely mastered it. So that's a good project, that you take a section and then don't digress yourself, because you will think that when you look at the whole syllabus, it looks formidable, it looks too much, and then you will be wondering, where should I start, where should I end? So the best practice is that whatever we do on Monday, then usually it is 3 times we are doing, 15 minutes only is actual teaching that happens. So that 15 minutes you practice every day, you will be able to master, and you will be able to increase the ability to even learn it by heart by that time. So this is exactly the methodology. It is called as Patanam and Anupatanam. So today's Shastra Vichara will continue. So on the point of Patanam and Anupatanam, there is the methodology of teaching, especially when we teach Sanskrit. We follow this very rigorously. When we teach Sanskrit Kavya, that is, you chant the shloka. For example, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma or Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We say that. Then the student repeats it twice. So Patana, Anupatana is over. Then the third aspect of study is called Pada Cheda. Pada means word, Cheda means separation. So let us see the Patacheda for this shloka. How do we do? Guruhu Brahma, Guruhu Vishnuhu, Guruhu Devaha. But then Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnur, Gurur Devo Maheshwara. When you do Patacheda, what happens? Guruhu Brahma, Guruhu Vishnuhu. You don't say Vishnu, Vishnuhu. Guruhu, because you have to get the correct case ending. Guruhu Devo Maheshwaraha, Guruhu, Sakshat, Param or Para, both versions are there, Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Then the next thing is called Akanksha. So the fourth point is called Akanksha. So it is Patanam, Anupatanam, Padachedaha, Akanksha. So Akanksha means, how can we get the intention of the poet? You can only get the intention of the poet by questioning. So, for example, the first word is Guru. Who? Then you have to question that. Who is this Guru? So, how do we do that? Guru hu kaha? Then the verse itself answers, Guru hu Brahma. Who is Guru? Guru is Brahma. Then Katham, how is it possible that Guru is Brahma? That is also Akanksha. In that Akanksha, the answer comes either with the teacher or on your own discovery, that he is the one who creates wisdom in my mind. And Brahma is the deity, that is the creator. And therefore the creative activity of Brahma is the creative activity of Guru in creating the knowledge in me. Then this is called Akanksha. Like this you complete it. Guruhu Vishnuhu, Guruhu Kaha, Guruhu Vishnuhu. But you said Guruhu Brahma. Now why are you saying Guruhu Vishnuhu? It is because anything created also has to remain. And therefore the answer comes in the Akanksha, saying that, no, whatever you have learned, you should not forget. So the one who makes it retain the universe is Vishnu. So Guru is Vishnu because he makes you repeat. He asks you questions. And then he says, have you understood? And then if you have understood, please tell me how you have understood. So this is what the Vishnu Karya is. Then you will say, oh, Guruhu Devo Maheshwaraha. Why did you say Maheshwara? Maheshwara is the one, or Shiva is the one who destroys. So then whatever is learnt, whatever is retained, does Guru also come about and destroy? So for that the answer comes, nahi, no, that is not so. He actually destroys your ignorance. So that is the Akanksha. Because suppose we use the same rule everywhere, we will be misunderstanding the verse. Of course, I took a simple verse, but when you come across a complex verse, then you will know. Guruhu Devo Maheshwaraha. Then, is it just, is that all? Is there any more? Because the student now, his interest is, now what do I do with this? What do I do with this knowledge that you have created? And what do I do with this knowledge you won't let me forget, because you actually haunt and then you you constantly persuade me. Have you learnt? And then you will say, and then you destroyed ignorance. What do I do with this? What do I do with all this knowledge? Then he says, Guruhu Sakshat Parabrahma. What this Guru says is, he points you to a higher truth. That means he establishes a methodology. In that methodology, what happens? He gives you the concrete information and then encourages you to take it to abstraction. So what is abstraction? Abstraction is the ability and the capacity to apply any unit of knowledge depending on the various experiences to apply that knowledge. So what does, as Parabrahma Guru does, he says that, okay, how do you distinguish between what is knowledge and what is ignorance? How do you distinguish between Vidya and Avidya? Isn't it? Because Vidya, the knowledge about the Absolute, is also teaching. Avidya, the knowledge about the phenomenal, is also teaching. And then how do you distinguish the limit of the knowledge of the phenomenal, avidya, and how do you understand the knowledge of the infinite, vidya? And that is possible only when the Guru teaches me how to do analysis and synthesis of everything that has been learnt. Therefore, he is Sakshat Parabrahma. Because Parabrahma is the one who can see from a distance and say, how do we use all these things? You have an assortment. Say, just like you play Lego. In Lego, what happens? They throw all the things at this child, right? And this child is supposed to make a form out of it. The only thing you will teach the child is, each one of them can be clipped onto another. That's all you teach. And what does the teacher do? He teaches only to say that, okay, this is going to make you, you will be able to make with this, whatever I have given you, you will be able to create a form. This is a Lego. You can create the form. And then he will also show you by example, this is how I can do. And then he'll say, and then you do it again. So therefore he is Parabrahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Now, Tasmai means, it has got two meanings. One is to that Guru. It also means therefore. Now, should we use therefore or to that Guru? We have to use both. To that Guru who is creating the knowledge in me, to that Guru who is making me remember, to that Guru who is destroying my ignorance and showing, to that Guru my salutations. I salute this Guru because he is able to do all these things. Now, this is called as Anvaya And then it is also called, you sequence the words in such a way. So the fifth important point is Anvaya. You sequence it in such a way that you not only get the meaning of the individual words, but you also get the meaning, totality of the meaning of the message, and you also use it in your everyday life. And then, to get this skill, you have to have a sixth tool in with you, and that is called as grammar. It's called Vyakarana. So this grammar consists of the metaphor that is used, prosody, the arrangement of the words, the nature of the word, the nature of a word can have multiple meanings, the skill to choose the appropriate meaning, and then overall to know the what is the concept that the verse is trying to tell us, and this is called as alankara, guna, riti, dhvani. These are all technical terms in grammar. So all these things also, without burdening you with much detail, the teacher will teach you. He will just say, look at this beauty. You know the story of Brahma, you know the story of Shiva, you know the story of Vishnu. What do they do? And then this is what the teacher does in awakening your wisdom. I didn't say knowledge. He gives knowledge, awakens wisdom. And therefore one who is awake is Parabrahman. And therefore he also becomes Parabrahma. And for this, the student and the teacher must have the seventh factor. It is called as Anya Shastra Vichara. If we simply take a text and try to look up at the dictionary and then you translate it and then you try to make a sense out of it, our knowledge will become incomplete. So this is why we must have cross-disciplinary training also. Just because I am a student of physics or mathematics or engineering or medicine, it doesn't mean that I can ignore grammar. It doesn't mean I can ignore language. It doesn't mean that I can ignore poetry, art. So this is the beauty of our sages. For a student, no subject is foreign to him. Therefore, one of the fundamental requirements for a good student is never say, this is not my subject. Concentrate in your speciality, but always be ready to learn from other specialities. Then you will get Anya Shastra Vichara. Then you will get the eighth and final capacity to understand any text presented to you. That's called as Mahatatparyam. Mahatatparya means what is the grand scheme of having this particular verse presented to me. And the grand scheme also, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, for how many centuries it has been used as a prayer. The worship of Guru for how many centuries? Aruna Prashna, the text we are studying, has been studied, analyzed, contemplated, meditated and practiced for at least 10,000 years. At least. So how did this text get such longevity? It is because it has got all these in it. So let us take one example, which is the next mantra. The next 6 mantras of the Purusha Sukta is called as Mahanarayana. So the first of the 6 mantras starts with Adbhyas Sambhutah Prithivyairasacha Vishvakarmana Samavartasya Tvashta Vidadhadrupameti Tatpurushasya Vishvamananamagre. Up to that is the first mantra. So in this mantra, let us try to apply the Anvaya, because other things are fundamental. Vishvakarmanaha, this is Purusha Sukta. We are studying Purusha Sukta. It is the 17th mantra. It's called Uttara Narayana. That is, अद्भ्यः सम्भूतः पृथिव्यैरसाच्च विश्वकर्मणः समवर्तताधि तस्य त्वष्टा विदधद्रूपमेति तत्पुरुषस्य विश्वमाजानमग्रे. Now I will reorder these words. विश्वकर्मणः पुरुषस्य अद्भ्यः पृथिव्यैरसात् च अग्रे सम्भूतः अधि समवर्तता त्वष्टा तस्य रूपं विदधत् एति तत् विश्वं पुरुषस्य अग्रे जानम्. Janam is a Vedic word. It is actually Jatam in Sanskrit. So, Vishwakarmanaha Purushasya, Vishwakarmanaha, the one who takes up the karma or the action of creating the universe, which is Vishwam. Vishwakarma is parsed as one who takes up the project of creating the universe. Karma is act, project. Vishwa is universe. One who takes up the project of creating the universe. Now you will ask the question, who is he? That answer you should get because we have studied 16 other mantras. It is Sriman Narayana, the Adidevata, the supporting deity of this entire creation, which is Sriman Narayana. He is the one who took up the project. So what he did was he emanated the Purusha, and this, who is this Purusha? This Purusha is the Brahma of the four faces, Chaturmukha Brahma. And what was he made up of? What is this first person who represented the universe? What was he made up of? He was made up of Advyaha, he was made up of water, etc. Etc. means what? Water, earth, air, fire, space. So what is the body of this universal person? Body of the universal person is made up of the five elements. It is not that icon you see in a temple. It is the whole universe itself is the body of this first person. And then that means he has got Prithvi, Apa, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, the five elements are there. What is the characteristic of a person? A person not only has got physical form, but he also has a psychological personality. What is the psychological personality? The power to see, the power to hear, the power to understand. And how does this happen? This happens by means of the faculty to hear sound. But the primordial person is sound. I am the one who hears sound. The primordial person whose body is the universe is sound, Shabda. And therefore Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. That means Shabda. Then he has got Sparsha, touch. He has got Rupa, he is capable of creating forms. Therefore, it's not just one solid mass of universe, but it also has many things inside it. Living beings are there, and then the materials are there, matter is there, and plant life is there. All of them are subsets, so that is form in form. And there is a sense of touch, Sparsha. Then there is the ability of creating taste and the ability of creating a smell. Shabda, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Sparsha. This we call as Tanmatras. So the Tanmatras are the Sukshma Sharira or the subtle body of the universal person, and his gross body is the universe itself. And then he says, Agre Sambhutaha. That means he is the firstborn. So what is this mantra establishing? Now you need the help of Anya Shastra Vichara. That is the information from other other disciplines. What does the other discipline say? The other discipline says that whenever you want to study any entity, even let us take chemistry, you take physics, any of the entities, what are the skills you will require? First of all, you should be able to perceive its external form, physical characteristics. You remember, probably we learn it in middle school. What are the physical characteristics? So you learn what are the physical characteristics. That we use a term called Adi Bhautika. Then you will see that, okay, what does each one of these physical parts contribute? What are their intrinsic abilities? And we call it as the power to be itself and the power to become part of the whole. A wheel of a car has the power to move by itself, isn't it? And the wheel of the car also has the power to move the car itself. So therefore, it has got also a shining quality, and for shining quality we call it as the word Deva, or this Adi Daiva has to be studied. And then we say that the power to rotate on a surface is called a Deva. And this universe, the first person that is created, is now let us call as the Chaturmukha Brahma, who is the Adi Daiva of this universe. And he has to happen first. Therefore, he says Agre. Agre means firstborn. So then he says somebody has to format all these things. The one who formats a device, you can call him as an engineer. One who formats the device, you can call him as an artist, a sculptor. Isn't it? You can, so the mantra uses the word Tvashta. Tvashta comes from the Sanskrit root Tvit Kantau. Tvit Kantau is Tvashta. That means one who is capable of asserting his ability. That is Deva. So this Tvashta Tasya Purushasya Rupam Vidadat. He enabled the universe to be formed. He enabled the Adi Bhautika universe by bringing together the 5 elements. He enabled the Adi Daivika universe by bringing in the Tanmatra, Shabda, Rupa, Rasa, Sparsha, Gandha. And therefore he became a whole person. Why is it we don't talk about Karana or the causal form? Because the causal form is totally unmanifest. Because we cannot see what that causal form is, nor anybody can see or anybody can tell. So what is it, whatever we are not able to perceive, let us keep it in suspense. Let's keep it in abeyance for a later analysis. So the Purusha Sukta now says the universe itself is the form. So when you prostrate, to whom are you prostrating? When you are prostrating to the Lord, you are not prostrating to any particular anthropomorphic deity. You are actually prostrating to the whole universe, which is called the universal person. And by prostrating and worshipping the universal person, what is it you cannot get? What is it you cannot get from this universal person that you can otherwise get from a particular deity? So why should you go to Indra and beg? Why should you go to Varuna and beg? Worship the universal person. I can only tell here. And then Tat Purushasya Agre Janam is to be read as Jatam. Tat Purushasya Agre Jatam. A few comparative notes as to a commentary elsewhere in the Bhagavad Gita. For example, in chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 16, Krishna says, Abrahma bhuvanal lokaha punaravrittino Arjuna. So, this universe is created by that Purusha, by that intrinsic Narayana, creates it, destroys it, creates it, destroys it. Therefore, the Chaturmukha Brahma, the universe also has got creation, preservation, and destruction. And destruction means the matter does not perish, because we also have the law that you can neither create matter nor destroy matter. That means it goes into the unmanifest form. And Prashnopanishad, we are going to study in Prashnopanishad, it says Murta and Amurta both are material. Then Avyaktad Vyaktaya Sarvaha Prabhavantyharagame, again chapter 18 or some verse. So this now Dhvani, this important Dhvani in this mantra, this is the Vyakarana Vichara. The important Dhvani in this mantra is Chaturmukha Brahma is Rupa or form, is this universe. So suppose we say the body of the first person is the universe. Question: Is it made up of nature, or is it beyond nature? In other words, is it Prakrita body or Aprakrita body? It is a Prakrita body. So it cannot be Aprakrita Sharira, and therefore, because it is a Prakrita, that is, it is made up of matter, Prithvi, Apaha, Tejo, Vayu, Akashat, and therefore it is prone to assembly and dissociation. So this is learned from the Anya Shastra, different Shastras, because they say that anything that is manifest goes through change. And therefore this Chaturmukha Brahma, the primordial first person, also has to die. Only thing is, what is his longevity? His longevity is the longevity of the universe. So you scientists decide how long this universe exists. Of course, our sages also determine how long it is. But then it is up to you to prove that it is. That's all. So what is the summary? The summary is Tvashta means a sculptor who sculpts this entire universe into this Brahmanda from the cosmic waters, from the Adbhya. Now, I said matter cannot be created. So how do you say this universe has been formatted? Sayinacharya gives a beautiful metaphor for this. Just like when you are boiling the milk, the cream is formed on the top. Isn't it? From where did the cream come? And therefore, when the Sriman Narayana does tapas means heat. When he does tapas or heat, and he heats up the cosmic waters, and the cream that comes out of the cosmic waters is the universe. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata 228. Avyaktaha akshara ityuktaha 84. Adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushascha adidayvataha. Some 7, I think, probably 7th chapter. So these are all the cross references you can see in the Gita. That's why, it is very essential you memorize the Gita and then have random access memory actually.